Alright, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this. I'm pretty spent this morning, so hopefully I can get some energy up. We can get some stuff done. So yesterday, what we got done was, or not yesterday, I guess, it was Tuesday. What we got done is we could type in here. Right now, this don't do anything and this doesn't do anything. We're gonna go and deal with that later. Thanks for the like. But we can get this to kind of expand. So we say hello, we are typing, we can expand the text box, I guess the text area, and as we type, the progress bar fills up. As you see, this is filling up. And now what we want to go ahead and do is finish this up. Also, I realized that this isn't quite right, so we might have to do some logic, or we have to do some stuff with this to make that so it's actually quote unquote correct. I kind of like it like that better. But whenever we start posting, you can see there's a line here, and then there's also this plus that we still need to do, and the plus does like a, I don't know, like a thread, basically, I think is what they call these. So that's what we want to work on. We want to work on this line, which I'm gonna have to add something. It'll be pretty easy. And then we also need to add this add button. Then I need to figure out how to add like a subtitle. It might just be a little, honestly, it might just be a little modal that pops up on hover. I'm not sure though. So we'll need to figure out what we're going to do for that. I don't quite have an idea yet, but we'll figure it out. So let's come back in here. Now in our feed post creator, this is our submit cluster. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do in between the content, the feed post creator progress and this, I'm going to add another div. I'm just going to call this class name equal to, and I'm going to call this feed dash post dash creator dash submit dash cluster dash divider. And this is going to seem a little bit strange, and I probably could have done a span here as well. Actually, I'm probably going to do a span instead. Just span. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a new one. 24. Add the post creator cluster divider. This will be pretty simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this basically the whole height of this parent, and then we're going to, after that, make it 1 pixel wide with a background color of the gray color, the light gray color, and then that should kind of act as a line. Of course, we need to figure out how we're going to get all of this stuff to look a little bit better with spacing everything, but we'll deal with that. So now let's do the CSS, and we don't need the creator anymore. So we call this feed post creator submit cluster. So let's go ahead and add that. So basically we're gonna have a height of 100%. We're gonna have a width of 1px. We're gonna have a background color equal to, and I need, it might be this 1e color, but I want to double check to make sure. Yes. So, excuse me, theoretically this should add a small line, and it might actually be 2 pixels. Let's try 2 pixels. Oop, not 21. 2 pixels. It might look a little bit better. Let's see. What does Twitter look like? It's gonna be pretty hard to tell. Definitely just 1 pixel, and it might actually be a little bit darker gray. That looks like it might be a little light, because this looks a little bit darker than the other lines for some reason. I don't know why, but it does this. So maybe it is a little bit darker gray. Let's see. Let's go the AA color, which is slightly darker, not by much, but slightly. And let's see what this one looks like. Well, that's the real Twitter, so it's gonna look right. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so that's good. And it looks like we need some like margin on the bottom just to kind of even all that out, but we can clean that up. That's not that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and copy this, set up the CSS for this. So walkthrough 25. I'm going to have to record another couple episodes. I've got 2 episodes basically ready. So set up the CSS for the post creator cluster divider. And this one was very simple. And then we need to go ahead in 26 set up the add button, I guess, in the post creator cluster. And this one, all it does, if we come back in here, you click on it, there's like a blue hover effect, and inside it pops this modal up. We're going to do this cluster all over again. Let me guess. Yeah, so it might have been beneficial to make this whole cluster something that we can reuse. We might need to extract this because this might be reused later. So we'll think about that and see what happens. So let's go ahead and make this button. So I'm gonna see how big it is. So let's see here. So if we take a look at this circle, the circle is 22 by 22. I'm gonna go 30 by 30 because for this, whatever size this creator one is up here, the progress bar, I did 20 by 20. Okay, so I'm gonna do 20 by 20 again. So inside of feed post creator, we'll have our div class name equal to feed dash post dash creator, and this will be submit dash cluster dash add. Well, what do I want to call this? Add. I don't know. We'll just say add, and then we might be able to get away with just having a plus in there and making it thick enough. Now this is going to look weird right now, obviously. So let's go ahead and add this into here, into the walkthrough. And we need to set up the CSS, so we'll set up the CSS next. And after this, I think I might want to start getting post working on the back end, possibly. We don't have anything for post on the back end. We haven't worked on the back end for a while. So maybe we work on the back end once we kind of get all of this post creation stuff working, basically. So let's go ahead and go to the CSS. And let's copy this name, feed post creator add. We'll paste it here. So the height will be 22 pixels. The width will be 22 px. And then this one would be a border radius of 100%. And then we'll have a border of 1 px. And I think this is a lighter color. Yeah, this is a lighter color. So this is going to be, do I have it in here? Color, I believe. Solid. I did it backwards. 1 pixel solid. All right, and there should be a circle there now. Okay, we need a display of flex, And it doesn't matter what the flex direction is. We're going to also say justify content center and align item center. And then the color is probably going to be this a little bit darker gray color, I would imagine, just to make it stand out a little bit. So now we got this, which still doesn't quite look centered. Let's make sure there's no padding in there for some reason. It's still not centered, so we're gonna have to do some ugly stuff to make it centered. Actually, it looks like this should be blue, so we'll grab the blue color. And really, these should be vars that I can access from anywhere in CSS, but okay. And I don't know if we are gonna be able to get this to be proper, but can we get how big this is? I'm guessing this is an SVG. Yes, it's 16 by 16. So let's see if we make a 16 by 16. I'm just tired of making SVGs. So font size 16px, and that didn't change anything. What about 24px? Okay, that made it bigger. What about, I don't want it too big, obviously, 26px. I mean, it's not perfect. I can make the font weight a little bit less. Font weight 300 maybe. Yeah, that's too much. 400. But I think 400 is too much. I don't know. I think that's okay. And now the problem is that this isn't actually centering anything in here. And it should have, that should technically still be its child. But what if we say adding bottom like 1px or something? I didn't do anything. About 2px. I might have moved it slightly. 5 pixels. Okay, that moved it. It almost looks too small, to be honest. Actually, I think the plus is too big. But it just looks so tiny. What if I do say 30 by 30? The other one's 20 by 20, but the border might be a little bit thicker as well. I'm gonna turn this stack down to like 24. See what happens. Okay, that's definitely way too big. What about 24 by 24? Looks better. And I think the icon might still be a little bit big. If we look at this icon, let's go like in the icon, let's go like 22. And the color is actually supposed to be a little bit lighter, it looks like. I think that looks pretty good. We might need to make it a thicker. Actually, that might be okay. Because 600 might be way too thick for this. Yeah, that looks weird. So we'll keep 400. I think that looks kind of okay. And I think that we need our trusty hex to RGB converter. And I probably have this written down somewhere. But I'm going to copy this. And really, this looks like it's like RGBA and then like 0.8 or something. A little bit lighter. I think that looks about right. And I think we need to get rid of some of the padding on the bottom now. What if we get rid of all the padding? take a look at that. Okay, it's not centered again, of course. I don't know why it's not actually centering it up and down with the flex align, but that looks relatively close. Now we need a hover effect on that. Dot. I'm just gonna copy paste this so I don't mess it up. Feed post creator add hover, and on hover we're going to say background color is going to be this RGBA again, and it's going to be like I don't know, 0.4 maybe, and the cursor will be pointer. We'll need an on click on this as well. That's way too dark. Let's try, whoops, let's do like 0.2. Okay, 0.1, still way too dark. Okay, I can go with that. Cool. So that looks good. It's somewhat centered now. Obviously, these are way smushed together. So if we take a look at this, there's a good bit of margin between them. So let's take a look at what we can do here. So if we, so right now this is spaced evenly. So, and this probably because the width is fit content. So if we wanted to, what we could do, I'm guessing that the icons are also only fit content right at this moment. Actually, no, that's 100%, but let's, so we have the cluster and then the icons bottom left. Where's our icons bottom left? It just says display flex. If we say width is like 75%, what does this look like? That break anything? Doesn't. Let's actually say 80. Oh. Okay, we're good. So we have our 80 here. I'm gonna add this in the walkthrough. 27. Modify the CSS to make the cluster. Actually, first we need to set up the CSS for the add, and I guess and space the other content out. We are going to go ahead and add that feed post creator bottom left. We're going to add a width of 80, and then on our cluster we're going to have a width of 20%, and let's see if this spaces anything out for us. That made it worse. Interesting. What if we say 30? Gonna start running into stuff. 30 is worse. Let's say 40. So 40 starts to give us space. I don't see why we need, let's say 45. $45 looks okay, I think. It's probably not perfect, but it at least looks okay, I think. And let's probably go with 45, I guess. It really needs like more space. I don't see how it could take up 50%. If I change this to 50, does this break anything? No, but that's way too far. So I will go ahead and send this back to like 60. and this one back to 40 maybe. What does that look like? I think I can dig that. So we'll keep this one at 60. We'll do this other one at 40. And then we need this one. Copy. So right now, obviously these don't do any logic, but they're there, they look good, they look about like they're supposed to. All right, so delete this stuff. Progress bar goes down. We refresh, the progress bar goes away. Okay, cool. That looks pretty good. And this time it didn't navigate us back to the login page. So I'm not sure why sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. That's a little bit strange. So basically these, I don't want to call this done, but this is basically set up to the point where we can theoretically send a post. So I think maybe we start setting up a post and going from there. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to add images and all of that. But that's something that will probably come a little bit later. And we'll have to figure out GIFs. So this, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be from, yeah, it's going to be one. So that's not going to be that hard. We're going to use like tenor or something like that. Poll, we'll have to figure out. And that's going to be, I guess we'll need something for polls on the back end too. Thanks for the like. Emojis, I thought it was going to be pretty difficult, but it's actually not going to be too bad. Because these are all just ASCII characters or Unicode characters. So all we gotta do is loop through, which I say all we have to do. It's still gonna be a pain in the backside. But what we're gonna have to do is gonna have to loop through every single Unicode character for emojis. So we're probably gonna have to put it in like in the assets folder, like a JSON file or something. It's gonna suck, but it is what it is. Schedule, I have no clue how this is gonna work. Maybe we just figure out maybe we just put a public or not public on it, and then that's how we do that. And I don't know how we turn on location. And that might be something we don't even touch. I'm not sure. And then obviously we need to do these drop downs. So we need some option for that. So I think we do go ahead and since we got this, there is a whole bunch of other things to do on the front end. But we've worked on the front end for so long that I think we need to work on the back end for a little bit just to mix stuff up. It shouldn't be too crazy, I don't think. So let's actually pop up Eclipse. Hello, old friend. So inside of Eclipse, let's put in our models. So let's take a look at what a tweet is going to need. So we're going to have issues probably with circular dependencies and all of that. So that's going to be fun. But let's see. We already have an image, so that's fine. We'll have to figure out. Oh, we can just give it a name, I guess. We'll just give it a random name or something. I'm not sure how we're gonna deal with video. That's something that we're gonna have to put on the back burner, probably, because I know you can upload video to Twitter that's X amount long. Videos are probably gonna have to go on the back burner because I have no clue how we're gonna upload videos. Alright, so let's go ahead and just make a new model, and we're gonna go ahead and call this post. All right. We'll go ahead and call it entity, and go ahead and bring in entity, and then we'll also go ahead and do the ID. We'll also say at table, and whoops, name equal to entity. Or not entity, name equal to posts. And I'm gonna try my best to not forget anything that this needs. So we're gonna need an ID, and how have I been naming these? So let's see, our application user. Our login response should probably be in DTO, but whatever. So I've just been calling it whatever ID. So, and let's see, did I use, okay, cool. So private integer, and we'll call this post ID. Oops. And we'll have at ID. All right, we got our ID. We'll have our at, what is this? So this will be at generated value and generation type equal to, I guess we need to say strategy equal to generation type auto. I normally just let Spring decide, and then, or I guess JPA decide, and then finally I'm gonna say column. This isn't necessarily needed. We're gonna have name equal to post underscore ID. All right, so now we got that. So tweets have and we're gonna add some stuff to user and stuff. So there's obviously gonna be a content. So string content. All right. Well, actually, I'm just gonna start adding comments. Posts have. So posts have content. They have a posted date. They obviously have the author. They're going to have likes, which is probably going to be users. What else do tweets have? They have media, so they can have up to 4 images. I think it's up to 4. They can be bookmarked, but I don't think that necessarily needs to go on this. That's like a many to many relationship, so I'll add that to user later. They can have comments, and I think comments, I don't know how we're gonna do comments. We might do a special thing for comments, because if you go in here and we reply, I don't really think it's a tweet, more or less. It's literally like a comment or a reply. So I'm gonna actually call this replies. And the thing is replies can have a reply, and it kind of goes down. And I guess it does have a number of retweets as well. We go in here, you can see that it has likes, the number of retweets, the number of likes, the number of views. I'm not sure how we're gonna do views. So I guess we can say retweets, and it needs views. And then obviously eventually we'll need videos. I don't know how many videos you're actually allowed to post on a tweet. I'm just trying to think of what else we have. So we have our content, the date it was posted, whoever posted it, the likes. We also need who can view it. So we're gonna need like a Well, we need a public for sure. And then I guess the go live date. And time. So like what date, because you can schedule it. So I'm gonna say scheduled. So instead of this, I'm gonna say scheduled. And that'll be a Boolean. And then we'll have a scheduled date that's nullable. So if scheduled is false, then scheduled date will be nullable. And we also need, we'll say we need to know who it's viewable by. So maybe we have accessibility, because this is basically audience. So I guess I'll just say audience. And audience only has like 2 options, so that's not that big of a deal. And then we'll also say, so we have audience, so who can view it, and then we also need to see who is allowed to actually comment on it, basically. So who can reply. So we can't call it reply, so it's got to be something like, I don't want to just call it who can reply. I mean, we could say repliers or reply restriction. I guess reply restriction. So who can reply to it, who can't reply to it. I think that's everything. I think reply will be a new thing. I think that would be like, reply will be its own object. So this would be a user. This would be a user, obviously. This will be a reply object. Thank you, Chandler. I appreciate that. Retweet will be a user again, so who retweeted it. Technically, there's also bookmark, I think. I think there's a way to bookmark. There's a way to share. Is there a way to bookmark this? I'm guessing, yeah, blocks them. Obviously, we're not gonna block them, but we need to be able to do this stuff. Let's click on it. I thought there's a way. Oh yeah, and there is bookmark. So there's reply. So I guess we need bookmarks too. And again, this is just going to be something. And honestly, we might not need to put bookmark on this. Same thing with retweets. We might be able to throw. We might be able to throw retweets and. Because I'm seeing a many-to-many relationship with this, so we might not even need to throw it on here. We might be able to just throw it on user, and then just grab all of the user's retweets. But that's still going to be difficult for the tweet. Bookmarks though. Oh no, this is tentative, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right, so I think we got everything. This will be an enum, I suppose. An audience will also be an enum. It doesn't have to be an enum, but it'll be easier that way. And then scheduled will be true or false. Views will just be a number of views. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So our content. So this will just be a private string content. Cool. I'll put that suggestion down. So let's see. We're gonna say JPA restrict characters or character amounts. At size, is it? Or is it length? Let's see. So I've never actually restricted the length, size, or at length, or length equal to value. Okay, we're gonna say length equal to 3. We're gonna say at column, and this will be length equal to 256. And this one should be nullable equal to false. You should not be able to set this one to null. Oh, just forgot the comma. All right, so cool. Posted date at column. Well, I guess we don't need column on this one. This one will just say private date, and I'll say posted date, and that should be fine. All right, and we're going to should be able to convert for us, I think. Then we're going to need an author, so private application, whoops, user author, and we're gonna have to map this one. So this one, I always forget the direction that these go, so we're gonna go JPA mini to 1, and we're gonna do this because I always forget which way this goes. So cart has cart items. So one cart has many items. So we need the mini to 1 on this side. So at mini to 1. And I forget how mini to 1 is mapped, so let me take a look. Forgive me for not remembering exactly how this goes. Mini to 1, then we have a join column with the user ID. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and say, oops. We just have our mini to 1. We have our join column, and this will be author ID. And let's make sure we don't have a mapped by here. Just mini to 1, and then inside of user, I'm going to open up application user. We're going to start modifying this. So inside application user, we already have some one to minis and stuff. We have all the followers. Okay, so what we're gonna say is where do I want this? I guess I'll just throw this here. So private and post, and it'll be a list of posts. And posts like so. And what we'll have to do is, dude, really? Why is util like the last thing? Then we'll have a one to many on this one, one to many, and this is mapped by equal to, and it's like post ID, I think. And actually, let's double check this. We mapped by the value or the object in the other one. So let's go ahead and grab one to many. Our persistence. Okay, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this doesn't crash. Okay, and let's double check to see if our H2 database is set up to show. I don't see it. So we'll say, I forget how to do this. Too early in the morning. H2 console. How do we enable this? I always forget how to do this part. It is Spring H2 console enabled. Alright, let's enable this real quick and just take a look. So HTTP / localhost. I think we have it under 8,000. I don't remember. /h2-console. It's not under 8,000. It is under 8,000. We're running. It's enabled. 8,000. Did I forget the dash? No. Strange. If we tried on here? No. That should work. We're using H2, I think. I'm gonna stop the application maybe. H2 console enabled true. Oh, you know what? Gosh dang it. We had to configure this in Spring Security. So let's go ahead and do that, I guess. I forgot about this. Spring Security. So we're gonna say .mvc matchers for now. We're gonna add /h2-console. We're gonna say permit all. All right, I think that should open it up. No, interesting. That should have opened it up. Let's see. H2 console with Spring Security. Let's see. We have that. We have that. It's not /console though. This is old or something because it's not /console anymore, it's /h2 console. Authorize request amp matchers /console /**. Yeah, 401 MVC /h2 console. That should be fine. Should be able to permit all to that. Interesting. Let's see. Is there a newer one? I just want to see the darn thing. Yep, let's see. Request amp matchers, permit all, ignoring. Do we have to add all of this? Let's see. I have a feeling this isn't gonna work, but we'll see what happens. Permit all and CSRF. And force. I'm about to add dot and no. Uh-oh. This is not good. Yeah, I know it's X now. I'm not gonna change it, unfortunately. Let's see. Commit all. Why will you not let me see the console? I just wanted to view. Now here's the problem. Spring Security has been updated since configure. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. Commit all. So why? But it also wants HTTP headers frame options disabled. So let's see. Can we add that here without breaking anything? HTTP authorized requests. Where do they have this? Outside of authorized requests. So they have it like here. Oh, not .http. They have it like here. .headers .disable. Yeah. So we're gonna have to set up. We're gonna have to set this up slightly different, I think. Because I don't think we can say .and on this. Oh, we can. Okay. And I don't think this is something that we want in the quote-unquote production build. I'm just trying to get our dang H2 console up and running, and that didn't do it either. Why are you not letting me view the H2 console? So I guess maybe we won't see the H2 console. I wanted to see it so I can make sure that everything was working as expected. But I guess we're not going to be able to view the H2 console. We're just going to waste a bunch of time trying to get this darn thing to work. This says to use AMP matchers, but I don't think AMP matchers work anymore. I think you have to use H2 console. And I tried this, and maybe we do have to do this because whenever you go to H2 console, it still will not work. Interesting. You gotta love that. I don't think I can connect this to like dbeaver or anything. Nope. I love that. Alright, well, I hope that this is working. It's gonna be really hard for me to tell whether or not this is actually working the way that I want it without H2 console popping up. I don't really feel like opening up a... Oh, this one's brand new. Here we go. Yes, we know. I know all this. Disable frame options. The headers frame option disabled, which we did. Oops. We have our headers frame options disabled. We have our request matchers. So they have permit all request matchers, new and request matchers, permit all, and then any request. So I guess we can try it that way. Can I copy this text? So he has... Take a look at this again. Dot request matchers. Surprisingly, gonna paste very well. And this is inside of authorized requests. Technically not. But let's see what happens. It looks like it wants to work. Well, we don't know if it actually wants to work. But it's not throwing an error. So, and this is literally, we literally only had to do this for this specific application. We don't have to do this for our other application, the quote-unquote real application, because that's using Postgres, so we can just view the database anyway. This is only for development. So we have that now. Request matchers, H2 console. We turned off the Make sure this is the security filter chain and everything. Yeah, we turned off the frame here, HTTP headers, and we could have done it that way. We could have done the HTTP differently. And then it says to run this, open the URL application context. You shouldn't need that though, but we need to set the application context. Interesting. So this is something that you normally wouldn't have to do, I feel like. I guess let's try this. So we'll say slash Twitter. So he wants me to go to localhost 8000 slash application context slash h2. So localhost 8000 slash Twitter slash h2 dash console. Hey, thank you. Who is this? Thank you, Sergey Pargopolov. You're the MVP. All right, now we can see the h2. So our username is just SA. That was a pain in the backside. And the password is just password. We need to also change this to this one. Would not recommend using h2 on a Spring Security application. That was a pain. All right, copy this. And we don't have to do any of this for the actual application because we have a Postgres database. Okay, connect. So if we take a look at our posts, right now we have a content, we have a post today, we have an author ID. Okay, so the mapping is working properly. That's what I wanted to check. I just wanted to make sure that our mapping was all good. All right, so all of that just to check to make sure that our mapping was a-okay. All right, so now we have likes. So this one is going to be a set of users because I don't want, basically, I don't want the users to be able to basically have their like on there twice. I'm not sure how this is going to work because this is more of like a many to many relationship. So this one's going to be interesting. You might be able to do a one-way because I don't really want this on the user. Let's see. GPA. One to many, one way. Unidirectional one to many. Essentially, blah blah blah. Okay, you can just do that. Cool. Okay, that's what we're gonna do because I don't really want it on the. I mean, the user. Because here's the problem. The user is gonna have liked posts, and vice versa. But I don't know. The problem is I don't know which table to map this on. Because I don't want to go searching for X table or whatever. I guess we could do a many to many relationship here and just figure it out because that's really what it is. Many users can like many posts. And that's the thing though. I don't know if it should go on the post or this. The thing is it's gonna make a junction table. So if you go back in here, you can see like the followers. Followers is a junction table. It's just user ID and follower ID. Vice versa, following is just a junction table. And I don't know if we wrote any code to get those yet. Because our controller and our services are pretty small right now. So like user service just get user by username. I don't think we can follow. So we do have a follower list. How do we want to do this? Because I kind of want to put the likes on this. But we also have to, whenever we do the user side, because like we could do 2 unidirectional, and that's gonna kind of be weird, I think. I feel like that would be a little bit strange. Because like really, we need a list of users on this, and we also need a list of users, or a list of posts that the user liked. So really it is a many-to-many. I'm gonna put the main-to-many here, and then if we don't like it, we can figure it out. So I'm just gonna copy this. I don't think we need the JSON ignore for this. So let's see, paste that. We don't need a JSON ignore, and we don't need, this doesn't need to, oh, that is an application user. We'll say likes, and we'll say user ID. So this join column will be the post ID, and then this will be the user ID. So this should be who likes it, basically. I'm gonna add some. Okay, it does not like that. Let's see. Association already has, let's see. Application user likes. I appreciate that. I don't know what that was, but I appreciate it. I missed it. Hopefully it'll pop up, but I heard it. So if it was a like, comment, subscribe, I appreciate it. Let's see. So it's because it already has a, because we already no, that should be fine. It shouldn't matter if it has a connection to the user already. Let's save this, and because we have multiple connections to the a user inside of the other table. Okay, it really does not like this. Let's see. Well, this should probably also be called, it's probably because followers already exist. Let's call this post like junction. Is it because it already has like a table named followers? I'm just stupid. Yeah, I'm just dumb. And we should be able to grab from this, I suppose, this table. So if we grab, we refresh this. A lot of people don't even put a password in. Yeah, now we have our post likes junction. It just has whoever the post, the ID of the post was, whoever the user is that liked it. And then we're gonna do something similar probably with the other stuff. So images, I think you can have like up to 4 images per post. So this one's gonna be a little bit weird. I'm gonna have a private. I guess we can. What we could probably do is we can restrict it on the front end. So I'm just gonna go private list image, and I'll say images, and we'll do this. And this one again is gonna be a unidirectional many to one or one to many, which is what we were exploring here. We have a one to many. I'm not sure how this is going to end up looking on the database, but this is going to be unidirectional one to many. Okay, save that, make sure it doesn't break. Could have been a many to many again, because many can have many. I don't know what we're going to do about that. We need to make a reply object. Retweets, we'll also need to basically do the same thing. So I'm going to say post retweet junction on this one. And post ID, user ID, and then retweets. But I'm not going to call it retweet. I'm going to call it reposts. And instead of this, we'll say repost, post, and repost junction. Post ID, user ID. That's fine. And then we also need a list of users who bookmarked. So paste this, and this will be post bookmark junction. I'm not very good with queries, so we're gonna have some interesting times setting this up. Views will just be a private int use, nothing crazy there. And scheduled, so this will be a boolean. Let's actually add some space here. So private, and I'll do this boolean scheduled, and then date will be a private date, and this one will be equal to private date scheduled date. This one we're gonna have a column on it, at column. First off, we're gonna have a name equal to scheduled underscore date, and we're also gonna say nullable true, or just nullable, because if it's not scheduled, I don't care about the nullable date. We're just gonna set it to null. Audience, we need an enum, and a restriction, we need enum. Okay, so that's a good start. Let's see what we're looking like here. Reload this, put in our password, test our connection. Okay, so we got our post images. It created, so this just created a new table. I don't really like post ID, but what can you do? But we have our bookmark junction, our like junction, our post junction. Okay, that works. So this just made a junction table basically. So it looks like it just makes a many-to-many relationship, more or less. Now we need our enums. So I'll have to make the enums and the reply thing first. I have no idea how we're gonna do the videos, so I need to look into that. And we'll try to figure that out at some point as well. So we need a reply object, which is just gonna have. Do we want to make it a reply object, or do we want to just make it a whole nother post? And reply, because replies have the same things. Looks like it has the same exact things. So I guess this can just be another post. And I guess, would it be many to many again? Because whenever we did the followers, it was just many to many with a join table, a JSON ignore. We probably do want a JSON ignore for this as well. So I guess we're gonna just change this to a post object, because I think it has all the same properties. So this now, instead of followers, this will be post reply junction. So this one will be post ID. And I guess this will be reply underscore ID. I don't know. And this will be a set. I don't know if it should be a set or a list. But I'll say set of post. I'll just call this replies. And this is gonna get a little bit freaky. But it is what it is. Let's take a look at our console. Alright, so we got our reply junction, we got our repost junction, our likes function. That's all good. So now the videos are gonna wait because I literally do not know what we're gonna do with that. It's not that I'm not in a too big of a hurry to get that working. More or less, I want to just be able to make posts with a request basically. So let's go ahead and make the audience enum and the reply restriction enum. So models, new enum, and we'll just call this audience. Audience. And this is gonna have the audience can be back to home. The audience can be everyone or circle. Okay, we need to make that before we make anything else. So I go back in here and we'll say 28 in Java, create a new enum called audience. Kind of unnecessary, but I like to make things a little bit nice. 29, create a new enum. And I forget what this enum is going to be called. This enum is going to be reply restriction. New enum reply restriction. The reply restriction is going to have, so who can reply? It's going to be everyone, follow, mention. So we'll say everyone, follow, mention. Save that. So now we'll throw that in here. Now we can finish up the post object, at least from what I think is probably good. And this needs to be like at enumerated or something, right? Let's see. At roles, verification. Where did we have this at? Maybe it's an image. On image. Role. Yeah, role. Oh, it's not under role. I'm pretty sure we have at enumerated some. Let's see here. So JPA enumeration. Pretty sure it's just at enumerated. Yeah, at enumerated. And I think you can choose to decide whether it's ordinal or string. We'll just do ordinal. We'll just do this. So inside of our posts, so our post, our audience will be private, and this will be a audience, and this will be at enumerated type ordinal. That's fine. That's good to go. And then we have our private reply restriction, reply restriction. Have a column. Give this a name equal to reply underscore restriction, just to make it look nice. And we also need at enumerated, so do the same thing. Type ordinal. I think that's everything I can think of for a post. It can have images, it can have video, it needs an ID. The ID we should have probably generated a little bit different, but it's fine. We have a date of it being posted. We have the author. We have the likes that it has, so we can just kind of count up the number of likes. We have the images that I can have on it. The videos will be to do, basically. We have our replies, our retweets. The retweets, yeah, it should be fine, I think. Our bookmarks, how many views it has. I'm not sure how we're gonna do the views. We probably only want it to be like if it gets viewed by, like, if it shows up on a page and the IP is already there or something. But we might need to figure out something different for views later. Might need a list of IPs that have viewed it. Possibly. Scheduled is fine. I don't know how we're gonna make it show up on a certain date, but that's something we can get to whenever we get across there. We'll say we'll do our getters and setters, constructors, all that. So we'll go ahead and source, and we'll generate our constructor. So we'll do a no-R constructor first. This is going to be a massive thing to deal with. We'll do an all-R constructor. So let's see, source, generate constructor using fields. Okay, so now the question is, what do we really need from here? And inside this constructor, I'm going to go ahead and say that the, let's see, all of the ones that are going to be sets. So we need likes equal to new set. This is also not necessary, but I like to make sure that these aren't null whenever it gets created like this, just in case. You never know. I might want to put this in the right order. So we have that, and then we have our images. So this dot images is equal to a new, I'll just say array list, I guess. That's fine, probably. And then what we have after this is this dot reply is equal to a new hash set. And whoops. Then we have, let's see, this dot reposts. I should really name this reposts with an S. I'll change it here. Posts, and reposts. So this dot repost is equal to a new, I think this is also a hash set. And then we have bookmarks. This dot bookmarks is equal to a new hash set. And then I want to think about what properties do we actually need to create a user. So we have hash set. So we have our replies, bookmarks, we have our views. I think that's everything. So to actually create the user for the post, public post, we do not need an ID. We definitely need string content. We can get the date ourselves. And then we definitely need the application user. We'll get that somehow. There's not going to be any likes on it. Images, we want to go ahead and bring in those. So list of image, if there is any images. Replies will be empty, reposts will be empty, bookmarks will be empty, views will be empty. We will need a Boolean scheduled. And then we will need a date for scheduled date. In case it is scheduled. We do need audience. We will need reply restriction. I think those are the absolute must-haves for this, and then we can generate the other ones using other stuff or set them later basically. And I'm going to do the same thing that we did with this. So the ID will be generated for us. This dot application or this dot author equal to author, and then I should have set content, this dot content equal to content, and then our posted date. Well, I'm not gonna do this actually. I wasted a bunch of time. I can generate all this stuff in the service method, and that's what I'll do. Then I'll do, so I guess that was a waste of time. Oh well. So I'll go ahead and say source and generate getters and setters for everything. We'll need to add video in here eventually. That's fine. And we'll do a quick toString because why not? Source and toString. Cool. Alright, so we have the object for our post. Now we just need to set up one, Spring security to actually allow us to use this. And two, we need to set up all of the other stuff that goes along with doing this. Unfortunately, I have to get to work a little bit early today, but I think we are going to call it here. So create the post model. I'll be live again next Tuesday. Oh Lord, that's a lot of lines of code. So I'm going to try to record another episode or two, hopefully this weekend. Probably 2 or 3 episodes, honestly. I'm going to try to record all of the content up to Java. And then next week we'll work on getting Java stuff done. And once Java stuff's done, we can basically record even more for Java as well. So that'll be cool. But this looks like it's working. Let's just double check our H2 console one last time. So password. I can type password right. Connect. Looks like we got everything. And whenever we get into Postman, or not Postman, whenever we get into, oh my gosh, words are hard. PostgreSQL inside the real application, quote unquote, we're gonna have a lot more, not freedom, but we're gonna be able to see how all the connections and the ERD works and everything. So that'll also be cool. But I'm gonna have to go ahead and call it here. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for watching. If you're watching this after the fact, keep in mind I am live streaming every Tuesday and Thursday around 6 a.m. or you can go ahead and catch these. And these are more experimental streams where I just kind of explore. So again, thank you all, and I'll see you in the next stream or the next video.